EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is partially sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. Libby, as a senior herself, loves working with other seniors and their families to help them make decisions transitioning into their golden years. Some of the services that she offers are downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, estate sales, and more. For a free consultation, give Libby a call at 772-783-2800. Visit her websites, SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. Okay, so now today we are talking about something that impacts families on the Treasure Coast more than many people realize. 1 in 6 families live in poverty, and nearly 40% of children are growing up in single-parent households. And when crisis hits, sometimes children are at risk of entering foster care. So joining me in the studio today to discuss this is Jessica Staudt, and she is the chapter director for Safe Families for Children. And their mission, I have to read this, is to keep children safe and families together with a bold goal of reducing the number of children entering foster care by 70%. We have a lot to unpack. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ellen. It's great to be here.
Yes, I'm glad that you're here. When I read, and there's a lot more statistics on your website, but that blew me away. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and why you wanted to work for Safe Families for Children.
Thank you. It's really great to be here and chat with you about this. My path to Safe Families is really rooted in a deep belief that families do better when they're surrounded by community. And I've spent my entire career focusing on family stabilization, crisis prevention, resilience in families, and I've seen firsthand how quickly a parent can go from stable to overwhelmed when they don't have support.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, this mission is very personal. I've walked alongside families who are doing everything right, but one crisis, one moment in their life, medical issue, a job loss, lack of childcare, push them to the brink.
Yeah, it can upend everything.
I believe that no parent should face that alone. Safe Families brings together community, volunteers, resources, to give parents the breathing room they need so that they don't have to walk along and they don't lose their children in the process. And that's what drew me to this work.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously the phrase, it takes a village. And unfortunately, I think a lot of the single parent households are the moms as the head of the household, and they're trying to take care of the kids and their job and the house and everything. And there are days where they just don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed. So that support is amazing. And we're going to get into that in a moment. So these statistics again, okay, 1 in 6 families living in poverty, 40% of children in single-parent households. So now, what are some of the pressures that you are seeing that these kids and the parents face? And then how does that increase the risk of entering foster care?
It is a sobering statistic. 1 in 6 families in poverty, 40% in a single-family household. It's just striking, especially with the area that we live in. But when we think about that, that means that these families who are in this situation are really one crisis away from losing any stability that they have. So when a parent doesn't have a support system, so they don't have someone they can call on, they don't have a family member to lean on, they don't have a church network or a community network, no extended family, no affordable childcare, no one to call in an emergency. Even something short term can risk them losing
Their job.
their ability to work, their ability to be together as a family. It escalates. So if we're thinking about a hospital stay or the loss of childcare or temporary homelessness, that can put children at risk of being placed into the welfare system, but not because of anything that the parent's done, not
Right.
because of abuse, but because the parent simply has no safe options. So when we talk about what we do, we step in. Safe Family steps in before that crisis becomes a separation.
Well, I love that. Okay, so now you are different than traditional foster care. So how does your model work? I really liked, and I even took some of it for the graphic for this, that there's 3 steps. So please explain your model.
It's a great question. So that's one thing I really want to stress. Safe Families is completely different than foster care. We're volunteer driven. We're a community-based movement that supports families before the state ever needs to get involved. And we do
Nice.
that when we look at a way a family is facing this temporary crisis. They can voluntarily place their children with a vetted host family. So we do all the background screening that someone would do in order to become a foster parent, all the level 2 screening, all the home checks, everything that we need to do for that family to get vetted as a host family. And then that family can place their children voluntarily with that family for a short amount of time, usually a few days to a few weeks.
Okay.
And then parents still have say over what their children do. They have full custody, and they can stay connected to their children. And then they work with our team to stabilize their situation. And what we really want to think about is it's neighbors helping neighbors.
Oh, I like that.
Prevention before intervention. And that's what keeps families together.
Yes, I love that a lot. Okay, so next question. Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. But now, when someone is listening to this, okay, there's different ways that they can help. So if someone is moved, what are the different ways? What if somebody says, well, I don't know if I could be a host family? Well, what are some of the other ways that people can get involved?
It's so great that our mission really opens it up for people to step in whatever way that they're called.
Okay.
We have a lot of opportunities for everybody. So one of the things we want to stress is no matter what role people step into, every role matters. So we talked a little bit about host families, and of course that is the biggest impact people can have to open up their home for children and families. But it doesn't have to be so big, so grand. It can be a resource friend, and that could be somebody who helps provide transportation, helps with getting a child back and forth to child care if the parent is incapacitated. They can help with any number of ways that you would think a resource might involve. We have family friends, and those are people who step in to maybe have a cup of coffee with the family because they feel isolated and they need more friendships. Maybe it's to just have a walk with that family. Just where can they step in to be a friend?
You know, I think that's really great. And I just thought of something is you hear about after care, you know, after the school day is over, maybe the parent is having a hard time picking up the child after. So somebody could step in and do that.
Absolutely.
Bring the child home.
Yes.
You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about like seniors that maybe they don't feel that their home is suitable for that. Maybe they're living in a very tiny condo and they're like, but I love children. So they could pick up the child. They could bring the child home, stay with the child until the mom or dad gets home, and then, you know, or parents, and then they can even do like homework and things.
Absolutely. And that is one of our big things that we're working toward expanding this year is making sure people understand that how they step in and step up is completely up to them. And exactly the scenario you described is what we love to see in the community. Because so many of these children don't have any of that kind of, you know, bringing them home after and maybe fixing them a snack and helping them with homework. That is a huge gap in the care that we have.
Yeah, because even if the parents can get the kids home and everything, like I'm circling back to that single mom, and I'm just thinking about, that she could just burst into tears at any moment. I've heard stories. I've known people, years past in situations, and I'm just thinking that person can just be in the house with them. They're helping to even get a meal on the table, interacting, and so the mom is there, but then the other person is there also as that additional support. They're chatting with each other, helping with the kids.
And following that note, we also have the wisdom of these older potential volunteers that are passing on their knowledge and their experience of what they've learned as an adult, as a parent, as a member of society to a younger generation that probably doesn't have that ability to be able to have that kind of communication with someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Well, we almost have to take a break. I'm ahead of you, Cindy. Ha. So before we take the break, for those that are listening on the radio and the podcasts, give your web address and whatever contact information.
So we're safefamilies.org, and you can reach out to us directly. We have a local telephone number, 772-217-9066. You can call us. You can just ask us about things. We have a web address, an email address, treasurecoast@safefamilies.net. And that is probably the best way to get any volunteering information, because we can have it targeted directly to your interest, what role you want it to be, whether it's family friend, host family, family coach, resource friend, whatever that looks like, we can target the answer.
Well, that is wonderful. We have a lot more to discuss. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First.
Are you a therapist or a nurse seeking the multi-state compact license? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
Big news, Treasure Coast. Your favorite mortgage team just got even better. Introducing the same trusted faces you know and love, now with Union Home Mortgage.
Hi, this is Shannon Pohl.
Hi, this is Lucy Cranker. And these high-producing team members bring decades of experience, unwavering honesty, and hearts of gold to every home loan. And here's the best part. Same local processing, underwriting, and appraisers you rely on. Contact Union Home Mortgage.
Visit us online at shannonCpohl.com
and LucyCranker.com.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
The rock opera that still shakes the stage. Raw emotion and an electrifying score that defined a generation. Jesus Christ Superstar. The last week of Jesus' life, told entirely through iconic rock music. Feel it. Believe it. Live it. Starts February 26th at the beautiful Riverside Theater. Get your best tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. Sorry, the monitor was blank there for a moment. I'm Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector, and we're diving back into the conversation with Jessica Staudt, Safe Families for Children. She is the chapter director for the Treasure Coast. Okay, so now you are clearly a nonprofit, and we have a lot of amazing nonprofits, and the amount of work that you guys do is tremendous, and community support is, you know, something that you need. I'm assuming it's obviously individuals, but even corporations. So how can people help?
That is a great question. So you are right. Having that financial support is absolutely critical. We actually collect funds in a lot of different ways. So individual contributions, we are always welcome to. We also partner with churches if they feel like they would like a donation as make us part of their mission that they want to donate. We have several churches throughout the Treasure Coast that partner with us for that. We also have something called the Strong Families Tax Credit. And a lot of people don't really know about that.
I've never heard of it before. Yeah.
It's an amount of money that the state of Florida has earmarked to go back into local communities. So it's a tax that businesses have to pay. They have to pay it no matter what. But they can choose to either pay it towards the state of Florida or have it come back into their local community.
Oh.
And so we are very busy throughout the year, but especially midterm and especially towards the end of the year when the tax season comes, to really look for businesses that would be willing to just fill out a form and then at the beginning of the year click a button and send it forward, and hopefully we would be one of the ones that would be chosen to get some of that tax credit. That is a huge part. We use our donations to train volunteers, do background checks, provide opportunities for families to get the extra things that they need, small things that we work towards. We want to be able to employ our staff at a good livable wage. So often we look at nonprofits and we think, oh, they shouldn't make that much money, but our staff need to also be able to pay.
I was going to say they
for
have
the
their bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that everybody is taken care of, including the families that we support, the families that are our staff as well. Every dollar that we collect helps us say yes to a parent that we can help. Without the community support, many of these families would have no alternative but to enter the child welfare system.
Okay.
So donations make prevention possible.
Okay, very good. So, and even aside from that tax, business owners could just, you know, they can go onto your website and do a donation on the website.
Absolutely.
And then people can volunteer their time.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you do volunteers in the office as well?
We do. Actually, we've had interns a couple of times, and we're looking at interns in the summer as well.
Okay.
We partner with other agencies to help support young people as they're learning about what they want to do for their career. But we always look at different ways people can give. It's not just about funds. It can be with their talents. Maybe we have a volunteer that says, hey, I want to host a cooking class and teach some of these young families how to cook.
Yeah.
Or it may look like that they want to host some other type of event or anything that can help. We are always open to having a conversation about.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so now again, back to that bold goal, reducing the number of children entering foster care by 70%. So what has to happen for that to become a reality?
Well, a 70% reduction would be transformational for the Treasure Coast. It would mean fewer experiencing childhood trauma, fewer families separated, and a stronger, more connected community. I will tell you that this last year, 100% of the families that we supported were reunited.
Wow.
Every family that we hosted in the Treasure Coast was reunited with their family. That doesn't mean that the entire Treasure Coast was helped, but it meant everyone that we helped was reunited with their family. So we were able to help them build goals and stabilize in order to be reunited.
Yeah, and that helps a parent and the parents in all areas of their life. Because when they're getting the support at home, they're going to work and they are fully present.
Yes.
So, like, for example, my mom, we had a babysitter. We were lucky. And Margie was our babysitter. God bless Margie for putting up with my brother and me. My goodness. But my mom would say, do not call me at work. And I hate to say it, but she would say, unless you're bleeding out the eye. She really wanted to make sure.
I think there are many of us in a certain age that got that same messaging.
Right? But, my mom knew that we were safe. And so she's at work and she's able to focus. So this actually helps the individuals, but it also helps the employers as well.
Absolutely. 100%.
So I'm going to tell the businesses to go to safefamilies.org. Okay? And you're going to go there and look at them and see if you can help them. See how I get bossy? I'm just telling everybody what to do. But no, I do. I love that. So now there was another question.
Well, I did want to follow up on that.
Please.
In order for this to be a reality, the 70%, we do need those three things. Like you said, the donations, like the businesses pitching in, absolutely. But we definitely need more volunteers, everyday people who are willing to step in and step up to support families. We need that sustained financial support. So when I say prevention is powerful, I mean it, but it requires investment. And then more awareness. Families can't access us if they don't know we exist.
That's my next question that wasn't on here, because you were talking about the churches are aware and they love working with you. But do the schools identify situations, and is there anybody within the school districts that reach out to you?
That is a great question. We are currently working with school districts throughout the Treasure Coast. But of course, if anyone is listening and they're not aware of us and they're within the school district, please set up a meeting. Maybe that department hasn't been touched by our team yet, or maybe we just need to come in and do a refresher with a wider group or audience, whatever it looks like. But absolutely, if having the school district, the teachers who are putting eyes on kids, who are working with families, they can just reach out to us and we can be that connection in order to help get a family stabilized.
Yeah, because like you said, you would love to get to them before they get involved with DCF. However, DCF probably reaches out to you as well.
We have DCF reach out to us when they have a situation where it looks like without us stepping in, they would have to place the children. But many times we step in and we support that family while whatever is going on. It could be just a short-term medical crisis, whatever that looks like. And we've helped out DCF multiple times where we've kept that family together. We love DCF. They love us and they call us, and we've been able to help so many families with their intervention.
Very good. And then another thing I was thinking of is Angel Peach. Little Birthday Angels.
We love Angel.
I was just going to say, so you probably work with other nonprofits that you probably all help each other out or share information, to get resources where they need to be too.
I got goosebumps because it's like you're in my head. We love other nonprofits. We think collaboration is the key. It's not a competition. There is enough need to go around, and when we all work together, we can be stronger together, and then we lift the work off of all of us.
Yeah, because I love helping Angel with. It's funny too, because when I give the gifts, a lot of people do the gifts for the kids, the little ones, but it's the teenagers. So I always buy stuff for girls and boys that are teenagers. But she helps with birthday parties. Yes. So that's needed. Yes. I met an adult not too long ago that never had a birthday. As a kid, and it's a long story, but so there's adults too that have never had that. But Cindy, you're making us stop talking in a moment or two. 1 minute. So what I want to do first, actually, I will just say to Libby Weissman, seniortransitionnavigator.com, luxuryhomesoftheTreasureCoast.com. So we're helping kids, but seniors need help too to live their best lives. And she's a senior herself, and she loves helping people make decisions for their transition. 772-783-2800. Give her a call. So I want to say thank you very much for being here, because you have so many meetings that I'm happy that I got you in this chair.
Thank you.
Okay, because this show is going to put a spotlight even more and get people like to open their hearts to want to reach out, even if it's for little tiny assignments. It all adds up.
It does.
So I love that very much. So my name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.